I think Singapore is in great danger. I mean, boom. At least facing an economic crisis soon. Has Singapore's Shangri-La Dialogue stopped being a diplomatic foray and turned into a Thai offering church? Or worse, a high-stakes protection racket? This year, U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth didn't just speak from the podium. He stood there, looked the Chinese delegation dead in the eyes, and essentially delivered a mob-style ultimatum to the entire room. The message from Washington was loud and clear. The era of free American protection is over. If you want the U.S. military to shield you from a bully, you need to pay up 3.5% of GDP spent on defense, no exceptions. That is what he said. Think about that. Nations in Asia have supported American power for decades, allowing the U.S. military to roam the region to suppress China. We have settled a massive U.S. footprint, from local logistics hubs to the fortress of Guam. We buy their weapons, we support their presence, and now they want a mandatory 3.5% cut. It begs the question, is this international diplomacy or is it geopolitical gangsterism? Look at the absurdity of the supply chain. Taiwan supplies advanced components to the US and US build weapons, and they sell those end products back to Taiwan and neighbors at whatever the premium price they dictate. If there's no Taiwan, the US won't be easily build their own war supplies. And what are those war supplies for? Are we supposed to be getting ready for war or preserving for peace? If the US is truly terrified of China taking over, it needs to realize that small countries like Singapore are the key. Yet the demands make no sense. Why should New Zealand overspend on its military when there is zero chance of a Chinese invasion? Yeah, Japan and Taiwan face direct friction, but that does not mean every country needs to match the level of escalation. Then there is Singapore. Singapore has always walked in the tightrope, the ultimate middle ground, choosing no sides. But imagine the fallout in Singapore giving, or worse, let the charge to rally other nations behind this 3.5 US demand. China is Singapore's largest trading partner. Such a move will be economic suicide, inviting immediate retaliation that will devastate its trade-driven economy. Yet, Pete Hegseth purposely brought his troops to Singapore to put on blatant display of military fitness. What was the real point of that for them to display all kinds of training in Singapore? To flex their American power? To signal the way Singapore is being carved as a brand-new hub for US dominance in Asia? And then when war comes, Singapore will be the first to die? When superpowers demand absolute loyalty, the buffer zone disappears. And that leaves us with a terrifying reality. Sooner or later, if the conflict breaks out, the enemies of the United States won't target Taiwan or Japan first. They will aim straight the hub that powers them. They will target Singapore. So, are you worrying about what I'm worrying about right now?